Peace. Good morning to you, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. Um, Man, if today's conversation isn't as real as possible, I don't know what is. Um, I just had to breathe. Today my head all crooked. That's how crazy it was this morning trying to get this stuff right. But we're gonna get it right. I appreciate you for being here. Today is September the 5th, Monday, September the 5th. For those who are celebrating a federal holiday, whatever it is to you, whatever Labor Day is, like in for real time, whatever Labor Day is, I don't know. But yeah, good morning. Today is another day. Today is another Monday for you to be successful, for you to be blessed. Please, good morning, Mr. Trisha. Um, so transparent moment. So everything I was trying to try to do, it's like I had everything set up. I was ready. I was ready since like 10. But then when it was time for me to get ready to come on, I do the prep and stuff like that. Then the microphone didn't want to work. But then when the microphone didn't want to work, I already knew there's a lot of times where when your system is not working, the best thing to do is and restart it. But have you ever restarted your computer and then you notice that your computer want to do an update like at the worst time? And it wanted to do an update at like 7:28. I said, okay, maybe it's not going to take a long time. So doing the update, and then the next thing you know, it is way past 7:30. But exactly what we're talking about today, as long as you have breath, I had to breathe, right? I had to breathe in order for me to see clearly that like it's okay. You're still alive. You still have an opportunity. You're not quitting, but because you understand that it's going to take you to settle down inside of your head, you're still going to make it happen. So that's my transparent moment. And a real and a honest moment. Like today was like perfect topic, today. Completely perfect topic. So before we start, what I want you to do is, well, for one, let me start over. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. I thank you for this morning because some people are not getting up because it's their day off, whatever it is. But yes, good morning to you. I appreciate you and I thank you for being here. I will always show you gratitude. So if you get no gratitude throughout the day, just know that you can come here and you can get it in the morning. That I will say thank you and I will say that I appreciate you. So before we begin, what I want you to do inside the chat, put the word breath. Put the word breath, Breath. Put the word breath inside of the chat because you're going to learn a little bit about breath today. Maybe some things that you already knew, or some things that you didn't know, or some concepts that you didn't think about or you didn't think of. Peace. Good morning, Ms. Robinson. Put the word breath inside of the chat because right now we're going to tap into ourselves. And what I want you to do is just to breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We're going to turn it up just a little bit. Inhale, exhale. Right now, just a little bit of breathing exercise because this is what I had to do this morning. I had to breathe in order for me to get my mind right. I had to breathe in order for me to continue. I had to breathe in the moment just so that I know that I still have the opportunity. And that's what we're going to be paying attention about today. Breath. Our breath is very important. But because you have breath and because you're able to breathe, you have all the opportunity in the world to keep going. You have all the opportunity in the world to stay in the fight. Just because you have breath, just because you have opportunity, just because you live in the moment, you have the opportunity to continue to drive over and over and over again. All right, now we got that out the way. Now I'm just playing. All right, so let's go ahead and with today's subject. We're talking about as long as you're breathing, as long as there is breath in your body, you can continue to drive. So for those who may be new to the platform, you're going to get definitions of the words. You're going to get maybe an inversion, whether it's red over white or white over red. If I say red over white, just pay attention to the red. If I say white over red, just pay attention to the white. And then we're going to flip it. So before we really jump into this, what I want you to do is to share this with someone. Take this live and share it, whether it's in your Facebook or share it in your LinkedIn group or share it with a friend, because today is so important, because there's so many people out there that do not understand that because you have awakened this day and you're able to see this day and you're able to breathe right now, you have the opportunity to change not just your life, you have the opportunity to change legacy. Because you're breathing, that means you can do it. All right, so let's go into the first definition of breath. It says the air that you let out through your mouth when you breathe. Now, some of y'all early in the morning, hopefully you did brush your teeth or not. That is that breath that other people smell. That air that you let out through your mouth when you breathe. That's breath, that exhale. Doesn't it sound like life? That breath. That means that's energy. That thing that you have inside of you that you want to pour out of you, you just have to breathe and allow your breath go. Just let it go. And the next thing is the inhalation and the exhalation of air into or out of the lungs. A single act of breathing. That means that one simple thing that you have taken for granted, somebody else is fighting for. That one simple thing that you said, oh, I'm good, somebody else is not good. And they're fighting for that. There are people that wish they have the opportunity that you have, but you squander that opportunity, that you didn't pay attention to the small things, that you have totally forgot that someone have given you breath to go above and beyond measure. That's that breath. That inhalation and the exhalation of air in or out of the lungs, that life, that inhalation in or out of your life, that is that thing that you have to do, that breath, that single act. It's going to take a single act of opportunity that may put you in a position to change your life forever. That's like those dry bones that's in the valley, those opportunities that you left in the valley, those dreams that you left in the valley, those thoughts that you left in the valley, those ideas that you left in the valley are waiting for that single act. Maybe that single act of kindness, maybe that single act of opportunity, maybe that single act of love for you to breathe. As long as you have breath, you have the opportunity to change. You have the opportunity to create. You have the opportunity to make it happen. But because of the single act that you're not doing, there is something in your life that will not happen. Now, we're just talking about breath, and I'm giving you breath from the perspective of life, light, and energy. That is that breath, that single act that can change things for the rest of your life. But you have to pay attention to the small things. So now, the third definition, it says the air inhaled and exhaled in respiration. The spirit of vitality. That means that there is life. That means that there is chance. That means that there is opportunity. Are you breathing, or you're allowing someone else to breathe for you? Because if you're not breathing for yourself, it's going to be hard for you to do it on your own until you understand that your breath is your breath. Mama can't do it for you. Your daddy can't do it for you. Your sister can't do it for you. Your granny can't do it for you. Your grandpa can't do it for you. That is your life. That is your inhalation and your exhalation. That is your respiratory system. That is your spirit. That is your vitality. That is the things that you have the opportunity to create for yourself by simply just breathing. I can put you on a life system, a life support system, and it will breathe for you. But when the system is unplugged, there is no longer breathing that happens for you. You're going to have to do it on your own, or you will not be able to continue. So, in its definition, it says that the air inhaled and exhaled in respiration. So now let's pull out the word respiration. Respiration said the process of living now this is the biology definition. Life. The process in living organisms involving the production of energy. What are you producing? What have you produced? Because you have breath, the exhale or the single inhale, but to breathe is the continuation of the process, the inhalation and the exhalation, the in, the out, the process, continue, the production of the energy. That energy that you produce have the ability to reproduce, so you can do that over and over again. But because you have life, you can produce that energy and you can keep it going and keep it thriving. But you have to understand that it starts with you, and it starts with inside of you. You can't blame anybody else on something, but you have to understand that there is something that you've done, did or didn't do. But are you ready to produce that energy? Because you can, because you're breathing. You woke up, you're still breathing. You can inhale in your nose and out of your mouth. You can inhale in your mouth and out through your nose. You can inhale in your mouth and out through your mouth. No matter how you do it, it's still breathing. I might want to inhale in my mouth and out my nose. That's the way that I breathe. I don't have to breathe the way you breathe, as long as we both breathe, as long as we're still producing the energy that is going to allow us to live as individuals. That means we are always having the opportunity to change. We're always having the opportunity to grow. We're always having the opportunity to bring about something that is new within us, but it's that single effort. That one single effort that can change a lifetime. So let's begin to step into the deep dive. As long as you're breathing, we can step into the deep dive. I'm just saying. So let's deep dive on this right quick. Let's deep dive on breathing. Let's deep dive on the process, because that's the respiratory system. That means there is a process, there is a system that we take in order for us to continue to thrive. There is a system that we have, that we exercise, that we execute in order for us to continue to create things, because we're naturally creative, but we don't breathe enough life into the things that we do. We don't possess enough energy to take hold of the things that we know that we want to do in our life, because we don't want to do the single most effort or produce the single most effort. So let's take this deep dive. All right. So it's like breathing is the active form of like consciously working your breath, like having like breath work, where you're sitting there and you want to like meditate, or even like with women when they go to the Lamaze classes and stuff like that, they want you to breathe. Or if you go to anger management, they want you to breathe. Or if there's a situation that you want to seek clarity, you sit there and you do what? You breathe. But because of the single and the little things, those things that we took for granted, we didn't know that breath was so vital to what we do, that we didn't look at it for the process that it takes in order for us to see things. Because like breath work is the active form of consciousness of working your breath to bypass that mindset. Like you're sitting there and you're walking, or you're running, or you're trying to process your thought. You're going to sit there, you may close your eyes and you start to breathe so you can bypass that pain in order for you to put yourself in a different state of awareness, right? So you're sitting there and you're inhaling, you're exhaling, you're closing your eyes, you're taking the pain outside of where it is right now, and you're leaving it where you don't want it to be, which is inside of your thought process, in order for you to push past where you are right now. So you breathe, because that practice right there gives the brain like that executive order to say, you know what, we're not functioning like this today. We're not going to function like this right now. So I'm going to subconsciously give myself an executive order to focus on the things that I want to do, or to focus on the things that I know that need to be done, in order for me to bypass that mental level of consciousness to say, you know what, this is deeper than me. I've seen this before. I'm not afraid of it anymore, because I've done it before. I can do it again. So I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to allow myself to tap into that healing that I know that I need, or to tap into that love that I know that I need, or that I have, to tap into that willpower, to tap into that drive, to let them know that they all reside within inside of you, but you just have to do that single thing, which is breathe, letting it out, allowing yourself to consciously grow. Because as long as you acknowledge that breathing will come from the awareness of our thoughts and our feelings and our memories, whether it is voluntary or involuntary, the most single effort again is still breathing. Your breathing empowers your focus. You know, a lot of times, like, we can count our steps, we can count the minutes of the day, the hours of the day. You don't sit there and count how many times you inhale and exhale, do you? No, you might pass out because you want to sit there. You don't count that, but you count on it. I'm gonna say that again. You don't count how many times you breathe in a day, but you count on breathing throughout the day. That small involuntary and voluntary thing. You don't count it, but you count on it. like they say, you count it all joy. It's all joy. Because I have breath, I have life. Because I have breath, I have opportunity. Because I have breath, I have success. Because I have breath, I have wisdom. All of those things that I need, I am not counting on it. I am not counting it, but I'm counting on it because it's all going to come because of that single effort, that single vitality, that single thing that is going to take you to push. So within that respiration creates inspiration, right? Because you can, because you have respiration, that process of energy, you can create and you can inspire. Because you can breathe, you can inspire other people. It's not always about you. It's not always about me. It's not always about what we're not doing. It's not always about what we are doing. But can you inspire? Say it with me. My respiration creates my inspiration. Because of my respiration, I can inspire somebody else. Because when you inspire somebody else, that person is going to rock with you for almost forever, because you looked out for what it is in the best interest of that individual. It's not about you. It is about the inspiration that you give others, because the inspiration that you give others then ultimately turn back and it comes back to you without you counting on it, without you waiting on it, without you telling others, like, remember when I... No. The respiration creates the inspiration. You breathing life into someone else creates the inspiration. That process of energy that you exude, that you put out, is going to ultimately come back to you without you counting on it, without you waiting on it, without you having something to say. That respiration is going to create that inspiration. Then the respiration is also going to create that innovation, right? When you sit there and you're like, okay, let me figure this out. Let me breathe for a moment. Let me sit. Let me do this most simplest thing. Sit my tail right here and write it down and breathe and produce the energy that is going to be beneficial to me, not the energy that is not going to be beneficial, right? The respiration is going to allow innovation, because if not, try to hold your breath and and write 3 paragraphs. You might fall out. But that respiration that you're writing the vision and you're figuring it out, that is going to allow the innovation to flow. That's going to allow the innovation to take place because of the respiration, because you have done that one single most effort thing of sitting down and breathing through the process. And after you sat down and that respiration have allowed that innovation, the next thing that you have to understand is that the respiration is going to allow the visualization. It's going to allow you to see things a lot clearer, because you have allowed yourself to be within the opportunity, right? Because if your obstacles create the opportunity, therefore those obstacles are now lessons that is learned for you to visualize what you don't want to do or what you don't want to see again, because you saw it before. So my respiration, my power, my production of energy allows me to foresee things only because I allowed myself to breathe through the process. Because if you didn't allow yourself to breathe through the process, trust me, you didn't learn anything. You might have learned something, not to breathe that way. But now, as you begin to understand that respiration allows the visualization, now the respiration also allows continuation. All those lessons that you learned, all the processes that you went through, all the things that you have produced, You can do it again. And because you have breath, you can duplicate that process. And you can do it again. Over, over, and over again. Because you have the opportunity to breathe life into it. And you have the opportunity to continue. Because there's someone out there right now who wish they had the opportunity that you had. But you have breath in your lungs. You can look at things from a different perspective. Your visualization is sharp. Your innovation is on point. But because you have breath, there is somebody that no longer has breath. So look at the single most effort and understand, because you have life, you can definitely duplicate the process, and it's yours. All right, y'all. I appreciate you, and good morning. Happy Labor Day to some who understand and some who just live in that world. But right here, Mr. R2 at Consistency is Currency, a morning podcast of choice. Y'all be blessed. Peace.